Recording. And hello, welcome. My name is Matt. I'm one of the public services librarians here at the Palos Heights Public Library. Here to talk to you today, the lengthy program title, How to Get eBooks, eAudiobooks, and eMagazines. As a bonus, we'll also be talking about how to get some free streaming and downloadable music, but that was just a little too wordy to stick in the title. So let's get going. First, a disclaimer. This type of technological stuff, it is subject to change at any time. They could update the way these things work. So this is all information that is good as of today. And if it does change, it's probably not going to change that much. Maybe a button will be moved or renamed or something, but what we learned today should be able to carry you through whatever sort of updates get made in the future. So we will talk about what you'll need to get started with this. Then we will talk about our three different e-resources services, which are eRead Illinois, Freegle, and Media on Demand. I will say that this is just a small class, so if you have questions, you can either put them in the chat, and I'll pause every once in a while and look for questions. You can also unmute and ask me a question if you like, and I guess we'll test that out right now because I want to know what do people mostly think they would be using for this sort of thing? A phone or a tablet, or accessing it on your actual computer? Just because there are different ways to go about it, and I will focus on one or the other more if there is a clear skew, I guess. So yeah, you can either put it in the chat or unmute and let me know. The chat can be accessed through your row of icons on the bottom. There should be a chat icon. If there isn't, there should be three little dots that say more underneath. Tap that and chat should be right under that. So, all right, very good. We got one here for tablet and phone. I presume most people will be focused on tablet and phone. So I will go quickly through the PC things, but stop me if you need me to go back or explain something better. All right, let's get going. What you'll need to access these things from Palos Heights Library, you need a Palos Heights library card. If you are from a different library, with our SWAN consortium, you can check out print books or movies or whatever with a card from another library here. But for this electronic stuff, you need to actually have the card from the library you're going to. So if you are from another library, I'm sure they have similar offerings. But in addition to your card number, you are going to need your library card PIN number. The PIN number should be the last four digits of the phone number you used when you signed up for your library card. And so try that. If for some reason that doesn't work or you don't remember it, you can contact the library. We will reset it for you, either to the last four digits of your phone number or whatever you want. And just keep in mind that when you are going to log into these things, that is the information you will need. So first, we are going in alphabetical order here. We are going to be talking about eRead Illinois, which can be used with a computer, an iPhone or an iPad, an Android phone or a tablet, and a Kindle Fire. It can borrow eBooks and eAudiobooks. So let's take a look. To get there on a computer, and again, I'm going to be going back and forth, first talking about how to access it on a PC or Mac or whatever, a desktop or a laptop, and then we will switch over to the tablet and phone side of things. So to get to all of these things on a computer, you'd first pull up our website, phlibrary.org. And then in the top left-hand side, you see that little menu button, and click on that, a little menu drops down, and in the middle, we have our online collections, And the first one there is eRead Illinois. So you would click on that. Oh, stuff is all coming in later than I wanted it to. All right. So then you will be taken to the eRead Illinois homepage. You would click login at the top right and then enter your library card number. And then it may or may not ask you to enter your PIN after you put in your library card number and click login. And here we go for the phone and tablet. You are going to be looking for an app called Access 360. It is an existing app that the eRead Illinois people, that's the conduit they use to get their stuff to us. So it looks like this. You can see these two screenshots down below, one for iOS and one for Android. And it's a little, the icon is green background. It says Access 360. You just search for it in your app store and then download it. To sign in from your eRead Illinois or to eRead Illinois on your phone or tablet, it'll do it a little bit differently than the website. First, it asks to search for your library. So you put in Palos Heights Public Library, or you can put in your country and state, and it'll show just libraries in the area, and you can select from a list. Once you do that, it'll have you on the bottom screenshot there, put in your library card number. And you probably also want to click Remember Me so you don't have to keep doing this every time you open the app. And then you tap Login. And this is what it looks like on a phone or a tablet. This screenshot happens to be from a phone, but on a tablet, it'll look similar, just bigger. So there are two things to note here. Up at the top there in that little red circle is the search bar. So you tap that magnifying glass, and that's how you would search for something. Down at the bottom is the menu bar, and we will get into all of that stuff soon. All right, now we're switching back over to the computer side of things. So we're going to look at our account. And your account is where you would see, what do I have checked out? When is it due? What am I on hold for? Things like that. So you click near the logout button along the top of the screen. All right, so here this says, welcome Matthew M. That's me. So you click that and then highlight it in red there in the box that pops up. It'll show you all of, at a glance, what you have going on as far as holds and checkouts. On a phone or a tablet, you would go down again to the bottom there, the menu bar, click on Account, or tap Account, I should say, and then it'll bring up a similar screen. As you can see here, it says, checkout limit, hold limit, and it'll tell you get 5 of each, and that'll tell you that information at a glance. Account settings. To access them, again, you can, on a computer, click that welcome button, and you can see the view settings there. Click that, and it will show the settings, which are not too substantial. Here you can change it to be a high contrast display setting or show your checkout history. And in a phone or a tablet, there are slightly more settings and preferences. You'd click on menu on that menu bar along the bottom, and then you go to preferences, and here you can see they definitely have different options here, such as auto playing audiobooks. So that means, if you open up, you download, you check out an audiobook, when you open it up, it automatically starts playing, or do you want to manually hit the play button? Do you want to automatically delete expired items? So when you return it or the checkout period ends, you can either leave it on your phone, but you'd be unable to access it because it's not checked out to you anymore. But if you want to check it out again in the future, you could leave it on there, or you could say, hey, I want this space on my phone, just get it out of there. That's probably what I would do, just so you don't have a bunch of stuff taking up space on your phone when you don't need it to. And then this one is important. It asks you if you want to use cellular data when downloading files. So if you're on a phone, you can check out an ebook, an eAudiobook. It is by default set to only download those things when you are connected to Wi-Fi. So if you want to be able to download those things when you're not connected to Wi-Fi, you have to go to the preferences menu here and hit make sure that option is on so that your stuff can come to you wherever you are, whether or not you're on Wi-Fi. Of course, if you're on a tablet like an iPad or a Samsung Galaxy tablet or something like that, usually they don't have any cellular data built in these days, so you'd have to be on Wi-Fi to download that stuff. So I'm going to pause here real quick, see if there are any questions. Feel free to shout them out or put them in the chat. I will drink some water. All right. Seeing none, I will move on to how to find things on eRead Illinois, starting with doing it online on a computer. And I should mention, this is all, it's all the same. So if you can look for things on the computer and check them out on a computer, and then you can go onto your tablet or phone and actually read them or listen to them there. So, if you're at work or you're just not around your tablet or your phone, you can log on, check out what's going on the website, and then when you get back to your device, you can still read things from there. So the homepage for eRead Illinois is divided in categories. You can scroll down through the page to see them all. Things like fiction, nonfiction, latest, what's available now, stuff like that. You can also specify to show exactly, to have it show you exactly what you want to see. The screenshots here along the bottom are what that looks like. So kind of right underneath that welcome button, there is two little options for availability and format. Clicking availability, it'll show you, you can select either all or available now. So when you, excuse me, when you click all, it'll show you everything that's available in the eRead Illinois collection. Sometimes, or probably oftentimes, if it's newer, popular stuff, there's going to be a wait list for it, just like with the print books. So if you click show me what's available now, it'll show you the things that are available for you to check out right now without a waiting list. Then on the right hand side here, I am showing what is under the format button. So you can select show me everything, ebooks and eAudiobooks, or you can say, no, I just want to see the ebooks, or just show me what you have on audio. One thing to know about Access 360 / eRead Illinois is they do tend to have more copies of newer things than the media on demand. So keep that in mind. I definitely recommend searching both of them if it's a popular thing that you're looking for, just so you can get on both lists and see whichever one gets to you first. Finding things continued. So right up along the top there, you will see highlighted in red a search box. Just put it in. You can put in the title of something you're looking for. You can put in a genre you're looking for. You can put in an author you're looking for. So just type it in there, hit search, and it'll bring up everything connected to whatever you put in. You can click advanced search, and then you can filter it. So you can say, all right, I want to search for a title. So, if you're putting in something, general, sometimes it'll show you things that have that title and that author. If you want to just say, no, I don't want to see, there's an author with a similar name to whatever title this is, or vice versa, you can specify there, only search title or only search author. If for some reason you happen to have the ISBN number of whatever you're searching for, you can also put it in there, and it'll locate it if it has it. On the phone or the tablet, it is a little bit different. Along the menu bar at the bottom there, you can see a couple of different things. You can browse by category by hitting the browse button, and then that'll bring up, you can see on the left-hand screenshot, all the different categories they have. So they have fiction categories, and then within those fiction categories, it separates out, mystery, historical, romance, sci-fi, fantasy, all that kind of stuff. Then the non-fiction categories. So if you don't really know what you want, you can kind of stroll through those categories, pick one you like, and see what's available. You can also, once you click on one of the categories or do a search with that little magnifying glass at the top there, then you can hit that filter button, which is highlighted in red in the middle screenshot, and then that'll take you over to the right-hand screenshot where you see you can select if it's available now, if it's an ebook, if it's an audiobook, and then you just hit apply, and it'll sort your search results like that. I will again pause here for questions and water. All right. Moving on. So once you find something that you want, you select it from the search bar or the search results you get. Here's a question: how is eRead Illinois different than Libby? And we will be getting to that. Libby is the media on demand app, so that's kind of the last. I think it's the best one. So not only is it alphabetically last, but I'm saving the best for last. All right, so once you find something you like, you click on it, and on a computer, it'll bring up a screen that looks a lot like this. It includes information, what series is it from, is it available? It'll give a little synopsis, and if there is a waiting list, it'll show, like it says in that screenshot, patrons on hold. So it'll also give you see there it says recommended for you, books that that are similar to what you have clicked on. It'll also let you either check out the item, place it on hold, or add it to a wish list. I have another question here. Will this video or these handouts be available? Yes, I am recording this, so it'll be up on YouTube either later today or tomorrow. And there's so much information in here that I couldn't make like an easy to navigate handout. So if you like, I can send out I can save this PowerPoint presentation as a PDF and send that out. So that is where we're at on that. On a phone or a tablet, the book page looks like this, very similar, just arranged a little bit differently. Again, you get the, you can either check it out, you can add to wish list. It shows you how many copies are available, how many are owned in the system, gives a synopsis, all that good stuff. And to place a hold, because frequently with these sorts of things, it won't say, hey, check out now, it'll say place a hold. You just click place hold. Once you do that, the button will change to remove hold. So if you're like, I don't want this anymore, or I got it somewhere else, you can go in and you can click remove hold, and it'll take that off from you. You can see in that bottom screenshot there, underneath remove hold is also suspend hold. So, if you've got another book you're reading and it seems like your number is going to come up on this pretty soon, you can click suspend hold and say, all right, I would be next on this, but I need another week to get through this other book I have in the meantime. So you can click suspend hold and say, I need a week or however long you want before you put me back in the rotation. To checkout, if it's available to check out, or when your hold comes in, it'll show a checkout button. And once you click that button, it'll show you, you can either read now. If it's an audiobook, it'll say listen now. You can download it or return it. So by reading now, that just means, you pull it up. This is, again, is a PC Mac interface. It'll just come up on your screen and you can read it. You can also download the book to your computer so that if you don't have an internet connection, like if it's on a laptop and maybe you're going to be on the train or whatever, you can download it and read it without having to log in or need an internet connection. And then if you're done with it, you can just click return. And this is what it looks like reading a book on your computer from eRead Illinois. It'll shows you 2 pages at once, and you just click left or right to advance. It has menu buttons, and again, these are going to be similar to what we see on a phone or tablet. Once you move your mouse around, the menu at the top will appear. You can see on the right-hand side, in the red area, there's just three little lines in menu, and then, I'm sorry, on the left-hand side is where it says menu. On the right-hand side, you have a bunch of different icons. So we'll get into all of those. When you click the menu button on the left-hand side, the screenshot on the bottom pops up. It shows you how to do offline access, offline content. That's, again, is just if you are not going to have an internet connection and want to read it. And then below that is the table of contents. So if you want to skip around, you can just click menu and scroll through that and go to wherever you want to go. The icons on the right top side of the screen, the first one, the little AA, is the font options. So you click that, and then there's a slider right at the beginning, so where you can make the text smaller or bigger. I find that I always need to make it bigger from the default option on eRead Illinois. You can turn a dyslexic font on or off if that is your preference. And then you can tell it what page layout you want. By default, it is 2 pages side by side. You can tell it to do just 1 page at a time. And then you can have different themes. The default one is, black text on a white background, but as you can see, you can switch it to white text on a black background or the different color combinations there. The second icon on the right side is a bookmark button. So you click that, and from there you can either add a bookmark, or if you've previously added bookmarks, it'll show you all the bookmarks you want or you've already added, and you just click on the one you want to go to it. The next icon is this little the note, I guess you'd call it. So actually, skip? No. So there's 2 buttons there, the play and the volume. That's if it's an audiobook, you can play it or do volume, or if there's some sort of audio component to your ebook, you can do that. But the next big one here is the notes section. So you click that, and if you have highlighted text, use your mouse, highlight text in the passage. It appears here in the notes button, and anything you highlighted will show up. And then underneath that, you can write something about it. So, in the example here, I just highlighted a random passage and said a note about this text. You can put in whatever you want. You can also choose different colors there to highlight. And you can also then, once you have taken a note, that highlight will remain. So you just have to click on it and it'll bring up whatever note that you left there. Now, on your phone or tablet, it is mighty similar to that. So as you can see, you have that menu button that is highlighted there on the left-hand side. Clicking that will show you what is on the middle screenshot here, which again is very similar. It's mostly a table of contents, or you can close the book or go to a certain specific page. Then on the right-hand side, we have the different icons. Here, there are not as many, just because there's not as much space as on a computer screen. So it'll have the two icons, the font and the bookmark, and then on the right-hand side, right at the edge there, there's little dots, and you just click that, and the rest of them will appear. So we will look at that. But yeah, clicking the font, the AA from the icons, that'll bring up the exact same display as what we saw on the computer version. And that is the font display, the dyslexic font, the layout, and the theme. So easy to choose whatever you want there. And then actually reading a book, if you're on, this is again on a phone, it shows you one page at a time. If you're on a tablet, it will default to 2 pages at a time in landscape mode. So you can, if you want, switch it to portrait mode and it'll show you 1 page at a time. It is totally up to you, whatever you find most comfortable. Now, listening to an audiobook. Well, actually, let me pause there since we just covered eBooks. Any questions or concerns, let me know. All right, so listening to an audiobook, the main interface here allows you to play or pause, to skip chapters, or advance or rewind by 30 seconds. The screenshot down here on the bottom left, that's basically the main interface. The big play button in the middle is where you play and where you would pause it if you were already playing it. The little buttons to the left and right there, the 30 seconds, or it says 30 with an arrow, that's to either rewind 30 seconds or skip forward 30 seconds. And then the 2 arrows with the lines there on the either side, that's go back a chapter or restart this chapter that you're listening to now, or advance to the next chapter. You will see up in the top right corner of your screen when listening to an audiobook, the audiobook controls that are listed on the right side here. Again, it's a row of options. The first one is for audio speed. It defaults, of course, to 1x speed, which is the default version of this. You can slow it down to 0.5 speed, or you can speed it up all the way to 3x. I usually personally speed things up to about 1.25. So you can just drag that little circle there a little bit up and it'll go to, increments in between 1 and 2. Because, sometimes they just talk a little bit too slowly. Again, that is up to you. There's also the same bookmark button there, and that you just click that and you're able to save it where you go. I recommend with the Access 360 app, whenever you're done listening to an audiobook, you get out of the car or you're done doing whatever you're doing listening to it, save a bookmark. For whatever reason, this app, I'll get back into my car, restart my book, and it'll be, at a place I was at days ago. It'll start from. So that is why it's always handy to have that bookmark, because then I can just open up the bookmarks, say, okay, this is the last place I was at, and start it from there. You can set a sleep timer, the little moon icon at the bottom there. That shows you, you can say, okay, give me 15 minutes and then turn it off. So that's good, if you're listening right at bedtime, and you want to drift off to sleep to your audiobook, you'll know that, okay, I don't know when I fell asleep, but I know it can't be more than 15, 30, however many minutes since I last, or is however long it would play before it stopped automatically. All right. Now, on a phone, very similar. You just open up your, it'll show you what books you have checked out. You click Listen Now. And then it'll show the second screenshot here from the left. That is the basic audio interface. And again, it is very similar to what we just saw. You have your play pause, 30-second rewind or advance, and chapter advance buttons. You also have a volume slider. Down in the bottom, you can see on the left-hand side 1.0x. And again, that goes over to all the way to the right-hand side here. That's the speeds you can have here in the phone or tablet version. So there's no slider, but you can, they have different speeds for you to select. The little icon on the right-hand side at the bottom, that opens up the different chapters. So if you want to skip chapters, and from that same screen, it also has bookmarks, which you can either access from the chapter screen and you just click bookmarks, or up at the top, you click that bookmark button that's highlighted in red, and that'll take you right to your bookmarks. All right. Any questions on eAudiobooks? All right, returning a book is easy. You would either just, go to, on a computer, you would go to the book, you see what you have checked out, view my checkouts, and then just click the return button. So you can see in that kind of bottom left screenshot, it says return. You can also find it in the more options button. And once you hit return, it'll show you the bottom right screenshot where it says title returned successfully. If you have something and your checkout date comes, excuse me, your date of that it's due comes up, it'll just automatically be returned. You don't actually have to do anything. I usually just like to return things early if I finished it, because usually there are people on wait lists, and so that gets it to them faster. But there's no fines or anything. You just can't keep it overdue. So not that we have fines anyway anymore. On a phone, you would just bring up the stuff in your library. Along the bottom of the screen there, you click My Library, you click My Stuff, and it'll show you what you have checked out. You can see in the screenshot where the little red circle is. So in the top right of each thing you have checked out, the three little dots, you tap that, and then you tap return. And you're done. So that was eRead Illinois. Again, that's for eBooks and eAudiobooks. And usually they have some of the more popular titles that have come out. They don't have a lot of older stuff because their licenses run out and they don't renew them. They just get new stuff. Now Freegle, this is our music service that can be used with computer, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, or an Android tablet, and a Kindle Fire, and you can either stream music or you can download music. So let's get into that. Again, to access that from our home page, you would just hit menu and then Freegle Music right in the middle column there. This page will pop up. You just click the login button in the top right, put in your library card number. And when you do that, it'll show you so per week, you get either 5 downloads or 3 hours of streaming. That is kind of the licensing deal we have with Freegle. So it'll show you how much time you have left to stream or how many downloads you have left. It'll show you the featured playlists they have, the featured songs and albums. But of course, you can also search for things. On a phone or a tablet, you just go to your app store and search for Freegle, and the icon looks like this. It's a little blue F with a little musical note. Very clever. On a phone or tablet to log in, you just put in, it says here, your zip code, city, or country. Usually zip code will probably be best to get you narrowed in. And then It'll bring up the little libraries in your area that have Freegle. Click Payless Heights, put in your card number, and there you go. On a phone, this is what your home screen looks like. Along the bottom there, you have a bunch of menu buttons, and the top right, you have those ubiquitous 3 little dots where you'll find even more menu options. So to see your Freegle account on a computer, you can click My Music. So whatever song you happen to have downloaded, you just click My Music. It'll show you what songs you have downloaded. Here, I have downloaded a song from the Apple TV Plus original show, Schmigadoon. They do have a pretty good selection on Freegle. So, yes. I have a question here. How many hours per what? So, okay, so you can see here in this screenshot up at the top next to the search bar, downloads remaining and streaming remaining. So per week, each week you can download 5 songs, or you can stream 3 hours of music. So then the next week that'll reset back up to 5 downloads or 3 hours of streaming. So yes, you would get, when you download a song, you can play it as much as you want. If you want to stream the same song over and over, you'd only be able to stream 3 hours worth of it. To find things on a computer, you can either just search in that search bar along the top, or seen here in this screenshot is the advanced search option. You click that, and you can put an artist, song title, album, whatever, to help you kind of focus down onto what you're actually looking for. On a phone or a tablet, you click along the bottom there, it says search, and then at the top you type in whatever you're looking for. I have here an example searching up Beethoven, and it'll show you artists that have Beethoven in the name. It'll show you songs that either are by Beethoven or say Beethoven in the name. You can, on the phone or tablet, condense down to this by, if you see right under the search box, it says all artists, album, composers, genre, whatever. You can keep sliding that over to see the other options. And so, that's how you kind of take it from this big morass of search results to what you might actually want. So if it's an artist that you're looking for, I would suggest just clicking artist, and it'll show you that. If it's a song name, scrolling a little further along that list will show you you can limit by song name. And the album and song page, this is, again, pretty similar on both computer and phone or tablet. It'll show you all the different songs available from an album. So you click on an album, and this is what you get. It shows you the album, the cover art, the title, and then down at the bottom there, the different songs on the album. And you can click stream, and it'll just start playing. Or next to each song, it shows a row of icons highlighted in red. So first is add to wishlist. The second one is add to playlist or create a new playlist. So, if you have a bunch of different songs you want to put together into your own playlist, you can do that. Or the final button there is download, which, you download it to your computer. You can listen to it as much as you want. The kind of blank square at the side is just for selecting multiple songs. So if you wanted to do the top 2 tracks or select all of them, you could do that and add them all to your wish list or all to a playlist or just some of them. It's kind of for doing things in batches. Listening to Freegle music. Once you're actually listening to a song, you can see along the bottom there your standard song listening little menu icon. So can hit play, pause, you can advance to the next track, you can rewind, and then it'll show you how much time is left in the song. There's a volume slider. There is also a shuffle or repeat button. And that, in a nutshell, is Freegle. Just trying to move it along a little bit here. If there are any more questions about Freegle, feel free to put them in the chat. That one is kind of the little known option. Someone asks, is there a preview option? Not really. So that would be, I think, if you want to stream it, you can stream just a little bit of it to see if you like it. And then if you do, you can either download it or keep streaming it. Of course, within those weekly parameters. Now, finally, media on demand. This is the big one. This one can be used with a computer, an iPhone or iPad, an Android phone or a tablet, a Kindle Fire, or a Kindle e-ink reader. So if you have one of those, the black and white Kindles, you can actually send a book from media on demand to it and read it there. That's what I like to do, just because I like looking at that e-ink, and it has better battery life than my iPad. From media on demand, you can borrow books, audiobooks, magazines, and there's some streaming video on it. So let's get going. Again, to access this, you would just go to menu on our website, and then there in the middle column, media on demand. Right underneath there is Mod Magazines, which is media on demand magazines. We used to have a different virtual magazine provider. They got bought by media on demand, so it's all in the family now. And again, okay. So on a computer, once you click media on demand from our website, this is what you see. You'd click the sign in button over on the left-hand side. And once you do that, you select your library, and then you put in your card number and your PIN. And of course, again, the PIN is the last 4 digits of your phone number. Once you do that, it'll, okay, this is on a phone or a tablet, and well, it looks like I'm missing a slide. I apologize for that. If you are doing this from a phone or a tablet, I don't know what happened to that slide. Don't search for media on demand. Search for Libby. So Libby, it'll look like, you can see in these screenshots, there's that little like purple background with a girl on it. That'll be what the icon looks like when you search for Libby in your app store. And it'll say, the official title might be Libby by Overdrive. Again, media on demand is Overdrive, is Libby. It's, just a whole bunch of corporate acquisitions in one. So sometimes the naming can be a little confusing, but yeah, you definitely want to look for Libby. There used to be an Overdrive app, but they are discontinuing that, and everything will now be on Libby. So once you download Libby and you open it, it'll ask you some questions. First, it'll say, do you have a library card? And click yes, because I presume you do. Once you do that, tap on I will search for a library. I think it's better than having it guess your library based on your location. Once you do that, put in Palos Heights. It'll show you the matching library, so tap that. And once you do that, it'll say, hey, now we need to actually sign you into your account. So tap on Palos Heights Public Library, which is where you use your library card. And here's where you would put in your card number and your PIN on your phone or tablet. So that was kind of a lot. I will pause for just a moment. I mean, in practice, it flows pretty smoothly and is not that big of a deal. And then on the phone or tablet, this is what the home page looks like. And it's not great, really. I mean, it's buried under a lot of menus, so we'll go through all that. Bouncing back to on a computer to see your account, there is a button, an actual My Account button, right along the top of the screen. You just click My Account and it drops down that box where you can click on to see your loans, your holds, your wish list, titles you have rated, 1 star, 5 stars, and it'll give you recommendations or let you see your history. On a phone or a tablet, the shelf icon is the My Account button there. So that is circled in red at the bottom there. It's the little, I guess it's an icon of a row of books right to the right of the middle button. So tap that and then you can see it shows you have 1 loan, 0 holds, whatever you happen to have. On a computer, you can do different settings, and you can also do this on your phone. The interesting thing about Libby or Media on Demand is it lets you select your own lending period. So you can say, I want to check out this ebook for 7 days, 14 days, or 21 days. I don't know why you would ever pick less than 21 days, but by default, it will put you at 14 days. So you can go in there and change it to 21. So yeah, just be aware you can do that. You can also, here it shows you can filter content to either all audiences or juvenile, young adult, whatever you like. Kindle preference is you would check that if you want your book to be sent to Kindle. If you don't check that, you can still do it later, doesn't matter. And then you have a couple of display options there, high contrast or dyslexic font. So, okay, Libby settings on a phone or a tablet, they don't really have a separate settings page. So when you're listening to a book or reading a book, there are individual settings pages for each book. So we will look at those. Finding things on a computer, you would click the search bar along the top and just type something in, or you click advanced search and there you can see in the bottom screenshot all the different things you can put in: title, author, subject, availability, again, just like eRead Illinois, things that are available now or everything, the different formats, languages, all that kind of stuff. Gets even further granular down in the very bottom there with the different reading levels. I wouldn't bother with that. If I were you, I would just search for usually a title and an author will do. You can also find things by going through different subjects or collections. So there are, along the top of the page there, different categories. So you can click subjects, you can click collections, it'll drop down and show you all the different categories they have. And see here, ebooks and audiobooks, you can see the new ebooks they have, the new audiobooks they have. Media on Demand does have more kind of backlist titles or older titles for you to look at as well. Finding things on a phone or a tablet, down at the bottom, that row of menu icons all the way to the left, you see that magnifying glass. You tap that and then this page appears. So there's just that search bar there and you type in, an author you're looking for or a book title. On a phone or tablet, you can find things, again, at that very first home page. I said it was a little confusing. It is. There are different options: kids, teens, magazines, Spanish books, extras, and then preferences. When you tap preferences, this is this little grid here on the left-hand screenshot. You can do the format in the middle. You click on any, and then you can select either books, audiobooks, or magazines. And then, of course, there's language. Audience would be everyone, or that's where you can filter for juvenile, young adult books. And the availability would be show me everything or show me stuff that's available now. And then you can sort by either default is just alphabetical order, or you can do by newest first or oldest first, whatever you want. Supports, that option there in the middle, that would be for Kindle books. So again, you don't really need to do that now. You can select that later. The specific book page on a computer looks like this. You click on a book you want, it shows you the cover, it shows you the author, the title, the description. There are some reviews. You can see here there are 0 of 28 copies available of this book when I search for it. But you can also see the author there. It says by Lucy Foley. Lucy Foley is in blue. If you click on that, it'll show you all the books by Lucy Foley. So that is a handy thing. Yes. The book page on a phone or a tablet looks like this. Again, pretty much the same information, just more condensed. This happens to be part of a series, this book. So you can see near the bottom there, it starts showing you all the books that they have in the series. So that is a handy thing if you are reading a series book. So placing holds. If it can't be checked out immediately, the main button there that on the left-hand side of the screenshot is circled in red is place hold. So you click place hold, a box will pop up. It'll say enter your email address, and then you'll have to confirm it. And then you click place hold. And when it is available, you'll get an email to the address you put in and say, hey, your book is ready, go check it out. Usually you get 2 days to check it out once the hold is available. And there we go. It'll show you once you're done your hold's position. So in this case, I place this hold and I am number 1 in line for 28 copies. So hopefully that would be available soon. And then it'll show you things that are available now that are similar to what you had put on hold. So if you are going to wait, it'll at least show you, hey, in the meantime, you might be interested in these items. To return or remove a hold, on the home page, again, this is on the computer, click My Account in the top right-hand corner. Click on Holds in that little menu option or box that pops up, and then it'll show you everything you have on hold. Simply click in that red circle there, the Remove button. There, you are also able to suspend a hold, just like with eRead Illinois, for as long as you want. You just click Suspend Hold, and you can put in the date. Now, when a book is available to check out, it'll say Borrow instead of Place on Hold. So you just click Borrow, and that's what it looks like. Right side on the computer, or left side on the computer, right side on the phone or tablet. Just click Borrow. When you do that, it should pull up this box here that says Borrow For, and then you can click down 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. If you messed with that in the settings, it will show whatever default you put. But if you did not go into the settings to do that, you can just select it or change it. It is no big deal. So on a computer, again, on the left, that's what it looks like. Phone or tablet on the right. Again, you just tap, it says there for 14 days, you just tap that and switch it to whatever you want. And then this is how you would send something to your actual Kindle e-ink reader if you want to read it there instead of on a computer, phone, or tablet. Once you click Borrow, it'll present you with the option to read now with Kindle. So on a computer, again, the left-hand side, you just click that button. on a phone or tablet, in that red little box there, it says Kindle, apps and services, you would tap that. So it asks you, where would you like to read it? If it's a Kindle, you tap Kindle. If it's in the app itself on your phone or tablet, you just tip Libby, this app, which is the other button there. On a computer, you would just hit that X if you don't want to read with Kindle, and you'll be able to read it on the computer. But let's say you do want to read it on your Kindle. Once you click that Read Now with Kindle button, or the Kindle apps and devices button on your phone or tablet, it will take you to Amazon. You will need to sign into Amazon if you're not already signed in. Once you do that, you will see the book that you have chosen to check out, and it'll say, instead of buy now, it'll say get library book. And I'm sure they hate this at Amazon. So that's another reason that I like sending books to Kindle. All you do is click get library book, and next time you turn on your Kindle e-reader and it syncs up, the book will be there. So, and it's, it shows you loan expires on such and such date. And again, once it expires, if it's still on your Kindle, it will just not be able to be accessed. All right, but if you choose to read it on a computer, you just click Read Now in Browser, that little red circle. And again, you can see all the books you have checked out, going to My Account and then clicking on Loans. And when you click Read Now in Browser, it looks like this. Again, not very dissimilar from eRead Illinois. The menus here, again, you look at the top right corner, it'll show you little icons. There's search, bookmarks, table of contents, and settings. Again, you would click the little 3 lines, the hamburger menu, that happens to be called, the 3 lines, and that'll show you more menu options. So you can search, go to table of contents where it says chapters, look at your bookmarks, reading settings. That is shown here. If you click reading settings, it shows you the text size. You can set to have it be bright, dark, or sepia. And then the stuff underneath that, that's pretty specialized. I usually don't mess with any of that. I usually just leave it to optimize for readability there. You can also highlight. So like in eRead Illinois, you just highlight a passage with your mouse, and then that pops up in the top left screenshot here. You can say define if there's a word that you don't know. You can highlight that passage, or you can search that passage, which would search for more instances of that in the book. If you highlight, you can choose either yellow, pink, or green to highlight that text in. And if you click note, then you can add a note about that highlight, and then that'll be in your bookmarks, the bottom right screenshot there, showing you all that good stuff, your notes you've taken. On a phone or a tablet, this is what it looks like. Again, on a phone, it will default to just one single page. On a tablet, if you're holding it portrait mode, it'll show you 1 page. If you switch to landscape mode, it'll show you 2 pages on the screen. And then you just flip back and forth. The menu icons and everything, it's pretty much the same as on the computer, located in the top right corner. I will go back. You can see here, the top right corner, there's the A, the magnifying glass, the bookmark button. When you click the A, it brings up with that same menu. You can make the text bigger or smaller. You can set the light, sepia, or dark options, and then all the other stuff. And that's pretty much it for reading books. You can still, in the phone or tablet, make a note. If you just hold down on the text, you can use your finger as a mouse and highlight things. Now, and again, I'm trying to wrap it up here, so I'm going a little faster. Listening to a media on-demand audiobook on a computer. Once you borrow the audiobook, you can either download it as an MP3 and read it off or listen to it offline, or you can listen now in browser. And this is what it looks like. You can hit play. You can drag the little button along the bottom there if you want to advance in it or not. And then again, along the top right-hand corner there, our icons. The menu icons here are very similar to eRead. You have the playback, the speed control on the left-hand side, a sleep timer in the middle, bookmarks, the third one, and then that hamburger menu will pull up chapters and bookmarks. On a phone or a tablet, it'll look like this. Very, very similar. Except here you have advance or rewind 15 seconds buttons, which is handy. I know, sometimes if I'm driving, someone will do something I don't like in traffic, and then I'll find myself thinking, wait, those 15 seconds flew by. I don't know what just happened in my book. I can quickly rewind 15 seconds and catch up. And again, along the top right-hand corner there are the same menu icons. And that's that for audiobooks. Any questions before we get to magazines, which is the last thing here? All right. So from the Media on Demand webpage on a computer, you can either go directly there from our library homepage, clicking Mod Magazines, or you can click Magazines on our homepage, and that'll bring up all the different magazines. There are, as it says here, over 3,000 magazines to choose from. So, yeah, it's kind of daunting, but there's a lot of popular ones, and they are always readily available. So yeah, from there, it's like borrowing a book. You can search for a magazine in the same way as you search for a book. You can go through the little categories, lists on the homepage for the magazines, and find one you like, and then you click borrow. You can look for other issues as well. So here in the bottom right-hand side screenshot, you can see this is Taste of Home from August/September 2021. You can click select another issue, and it'll show you all the back issues they have. So if there's a specific one you want, you can just scroll through the list, pick that, and then click borrow. On a phone or a tablet, you just click the magazine's category, and it'll show you the list. And then you can filter it down by clicking on all titles or clicking preferences. Again, you can just search for the magazine you want to. Like if you wanted to find The Economist or Newsweek, you just search for The Economist or Newsweek, and it'll bring it up without having to go through the categories. Once you find one you want, you can go to, or you tap on it, and it brings up the right-hand screenshot, which, this is the July-August 2021 Family Handyman. It tells you the description about it, the table of contents and all that, and then you just click borrow. All right. Once you are done with something, you can return it early on a computer, going to My Account, selecting Loans, and it'll show you everything you have checked out. And then so you can see the red circles there right in the middle of the bottom of the icon for each box. You just click Return, and it'll return. On a phone or a tablet, you tap the shelf icon, which is the one directly to the right of the middle button, and that'll show you the things you have checked out. You tap on the item you want to return, or click Manage Loan, and then it'll drop down to this little box here. On the left-hand side, you just click Return Early, and then say, oh, are you sure you want to return this? And then you just say, yes, I am, hit return, and there you go. And that is pretty much it. I will say Libby, at least around these parts, is the preferred app. There is a lot bigger selection. The app itself I find to be more reliable, and I don't know, it just seems better. But there is a caveat in that with popular stuff, the waitlists on Libby are going to be longer. So keep that in mind. I always say search on both eRead Illinois /Access360 and Media on Demand /Libby for whatever you're looking for. And if there's a waitlist, jump on both waitlists, just because, you know, whichever one pops up sooner, you'll have all your bases covered. So that's it. Any questions? I can send out this PowerPoint again as a PDF to everyone who attended. So you have it as a reference. And yeah, we have our upcoming classes here. If there are any that catch your fancy, Facebook Basics coming up March 7th, Android Basics March 21st. Meet our online resources April 4th, kicking off National Library Week for us. And that is basically, you know, the library subscribes to a lot of databases. And we're just going to go through some of the more interesting ones and show you what you can get, you know, from anywhere. You can be on your computer at home and just with your library card number, log on to our databases and do some searching for interesting things. And finally, coming up, we have Internet Basics on April 25th. So thanks everyone for coming out. If there are any questions, you can put them in the chat. You can email me at the address I sent you the link to the Zoom session to, and I will be sure to get back to you. And yeah, the whole wide world of e-resources out there, check them out. I guess pun intended.